Hello and welcome back to Against the Storm. It's been a little while since the last episode on YouTube, but I wanted to get back to this game and continue what we were doing here in the demo. And by the way, thanks again to Eremite Games for reaching out to me and asking me to play this demo for you. So in the last couple of episodes, we did the 2 tutorial towns and covered a lot of the basics of the game, but as many of you probably noticed, there was not very much roguelite-like activity in it, or at least it didn't seem like there was much. And the reason for that is that the tutorials are fairly controlled in terms of what you get, what you can do, and things like that. At least it seems to me. And so they aren't roguelite as much. Maybe they're roguelite light. But as we get into now the more open part of the game in this demo, we're going to hit a lot more roguelite attributes. And it makes the game quite significantly harder than the tutorial levels were. And with that, you can lose, and very likely will lose many times playing games beyond the tutorials. But there are also a handful of concepts that the developer doesn't yet have in the tutorials that are pretty essential to having a successful win in the game. So I'm going to try and cover those in the rest of this series as I play through at least one or two attempts at additional maps. But once we get too far in, I think it's going to eventually get a little bit boring, because again, we are limited only to the Royal Woodlands, which is just this immediate area around the Smoldering City, which we're going to get into in just a moment here. So we can't get into these other biomes, the Scarlet Orchard and the Marshlands. Those are locked to us yet, and those I think they're going to be available once it becomes EA. But for now in the demo, those are locked to us. So we're going to jump in here and look at the Citadel. Enter the Citadel, the Smoldering City, and see what we can do in here. So looks like we have 30 out of 200 experience into level 2. We have some trade routes available to us here with the Citadel. We can get spices from the Citadel. We can get 5 stone per minute, 2 planks per minute, 6 roots per minute, 8 mushrooms per minute, or 4 flour per minute. One of those 6 items we can trade in order to get, and we can also go in here and buy some upgrades. Now, we don't have very much that we can spend yet, but there are these 3 currencies up here: artifacts, food stockpiles, and machinery. So the artifacts here are a luxury item, curios of varying nature, fascinating, sinister, both and all in between, can be used for buying more advanced upgrades in the Smoldering City. Food stockpiles are a luxury item, basic currency in the realm. Workers are eager to exchange their labor for food for their families, can be used to buy upgrades in the Smoldering City. And machinery, another luxury item. Rain punk, I like that. Rain punk technology ripped from the past, repurposed with skill and labor, can be used to buy upgrades in the Smoldering City. So you can see those items here are available, or are marked here as the currencies used to purchase these various things. And right now we haven't unlocked anything here. And there are more. There is a scroll bar over here, which I did not notice right away. But as you can see, everything beyond that first screen is locked in the demo. So we have 10 food stockpiles. This is the first technology we have available to us or upgrade available to us to unlock. So this is the only one we can actually do. And so that gives us the Obsidian Library level 1, which makes the cookhouse and mill blueprints available to us, and gives us the rain collector as an essential building, which is another one of the gathering buildings like the little outposts that we've had so far in the game. There are these 5 buildings inside of the Smoldering City, and so the Obsidian Library is this first one that we can unlock here. And then as we proceed, we can move into level 2 and then level 3 if we play that many levels, or enough levels to gain that many materials. So we're going to back out of this and back out of this, and we're going to pick a tile to move into. So you can see that the immediate closest tiles right around the city are part of the city, so those we can't move into. And we've already accomplished Tutorial Town 1 and Tutorial Town 2. Now, further out from the city here are these differently styled tiles here. And this one happens to be a stonewood infestation, which is a modifier to any hex that you select that is adjacent to that tile, and it makes the trees much more sturdy and causes them to take more time in cutting. So before we take one of these adjacent, this one, or even these ones out here, well, these ones out here, we want to be sure that we're able to compensate for that, that the effects of that, modifiers here, which gives us 30% slower tree harvesting. Otherwise, there's things like this tile over here, which we can't actually see what that one does, but that's where we can get those artifacts from. But we can also just look around and see, oh, okay, here's a tile with one of those blue machinery tiles, and it doesn't have the iron or the stone wood thing going on, and there are probably more as well nearby. Maybe not. And you can also see there in this panel that comes out the summary of everything that we can get from completing this scenario. So if we go into one of these areas, we get fewer food stockpiles than if we came down here. These have a lot more available to us, but that's because we've already cleared some of these cells by having done Tutorial Town 1 and Tutorial Town 2. The immediate cells around it are claimed as part of it, or are harvested, I guess would be the better word, as part of it. So I think given this, I would like to at least try to pick up one of those machinery, as well as some of the food, but I also don't want to work with this stonewood yet. So I think I'm going to go with this tile here. We'll get 3 food and one machinery. We're going to get 180 experience for completing this level, and that's this bar down here, by the way. And then the woodland, it's a woodland town, so you can see that it's a town specialized in woodwork, and provides access to those resources. We have a positive side effect of harvesting speed in the Royal Woodlands is increased by 10%, and these foods here are more likely to be found, and these natural resources are more likely to be found, or versus less likely to be found, as you can see here. This is also the summary of the biome, the Royal Woodlands. I think we've read this elsewhere, but it talks about just a description of the biome we're in, as well as what the finishing conditions are. We either have to, in order to win, we have to get 12 reputation, or in order to lose, we have to get 12 impatience. And then map size is medium, difficulty is normal, and average amount of soil. And then finally the weather. You can see the length of these 3 seasons here: drizzle, clearance, and storm. And then clearance is going to give us with a sufficient amount of food, and I think this is prepared food. Citizens will be more eager to work, give a 20% chance to double the yield each production cycle. And then the storm is going to give us this -5 to global resolve during the storms. And also, I think that's just during the storm. Maybe not. And then during the storm for sure, from year 2 onward, we're going to have a downpour, which without clothing will cause all of our units to move 40% slower. So there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages to each one of these tiles. A lot of them at this point are the same, though, except for that stonewood. So we also have, in the center here, we can choose up to 3 stacks of resources. And these are the stacks here. And this was a little unclear to me at first, the first time that I tried this in my test game. But we can pick a box of copper tools to bring 20 more copper tools with us. And these are what are used for picking up those bonus things in the glades. Or we can take 30 bundles of broccoli or moss broccoli, or we can take 30 bundles of mushrooms, or we can take 30 bundles of wood. Now, I think given the value of these different things, I think I'm going to take the 3 of those and not the mushrooms, because we have 3 to spend. And then finally we can name our settlement here. And you don't have to name your settlement, it'll give you a random name, but we can also name them something that we would name them. So let's name that and embark on this travels to establish a town in this area. So just like the tutorial levels, we start out kind of in the center of the map. There are various glades around us, some small and not dangerous, some larger and dangerous, and occasionally we'll see a small and dangerous one, or a large and not dangerous one, but those are, like this one's large and not dangerous, but those are, actually there are a few of these, but that's nice. So we're going to start this game out kind of like we did with the tutorials, all the tutorials, except that we get to pick 3 new buildings from the randomized list of buildings that are available to us at the beginning of the game right away. And this is one of the roguelite aspects of the game, is that we're randomly given a choice between 2 buildings to pick. So we can pick the lumberyard, which will give us a 3-star recipe for planks. Firewood is 2 stars and barrels are 1 star. Or we can get a brickyard, which gives us a 3-star recipe for bricks, 1 star for pottery, and I forget what that's called now. The inefficient one, the basically like 0-star recipe for crystallized dew. I happen to like the lumber mill, so I'm going to pick that one. And then we can pick housing. So we can either pick a beaver house or a lizard house, and this has 3 places for beavers. It takes the 4 planks and the 2 rope, and this has 2 places for lizards. 4 rope and 3 brick. And I think I did in one or both of the tutorials, I think I was able to pick between beaver and one of the other ones, and we picked beaver, and I'm going to consider that again just because it has the space for 3 as opposed to 2. And then finally, our third choice is going to be between a forager camp and a small farm. And I'm actually going to sit on this one for a while. We don't have to pick it right away. It'll be there for us until we decide to pick it, but we can't go beyond it until we pick something here. But the reason I want to wait is I want to see what we have as far as mushrooms, eggs, and reeds versus some farm field areas. And I honestly can't remember if we had farm fields in the tutorials or not, but I think we did. Scavenger and stonecutter. Okay, so we don't need, at least not right away, the forager. But we also don't need the small farm right away. So we're gonna proceed without either of them right now and see which one we come up on. First building that I always want to build is a lumber camp. We're gonna put that in here and let them start building that. But first, let's also put down a stonecutter camp and a scavenger camp. And we'll do a rain collector very soon, but not just yet. Let's unpause and let it go at just the default speed for just a moment here. Let them get through building a couple of these, and we can take a look at some of this other stuff. So in addition to those, we can do the rain collector. We have farm fields, but we don't have the farm yet. We can take it, but we don't have it yet. And you need it. We need to build at least 1 beaver house and at least a couple of shelters to start out with in order to house everyone. In the city buildings, we have storage, the makeshift hearth, and the trading post. Let's do this quickly. Get them started on that and this. Let's see, this is a lizard. I think gets benefits from this, or maybe not. I don't remember if the lizard gets benefits from that one or not, or who gets benefits from this one, but we'll see. I still haven't memorized that bit yet. Oh, the lumber mill came in as well here. The crude workstation, as you can see, the crude workstation has all 3 of those recipes there, but they're at that inefficient level, the 0-star level. So getting the planks available here is very useful, especially at 3 stars. Makes it super efficient. And then the makeshift post also has crappy recipes. So let's see here, the human. Okay, there's no bonus there, so I'm going to put a human and a lizard in each one of these camps. And then we'll have the 3 beavers over here because they have that 10% chance to produce twice as much proficiency level. Back into this, though, I just wanted to pause and come back into that. This storage here, makeshift hearth, and the trading post, especially these first 2, they're one of the key things, one of the key aspects of the game that, or specifically these 2 for right now, that as you expand your city, you want to build storages every so often so that they don't have to carry the items back from the camps back to the main storage. They'll go to the nearest storage and they'll drop the items off there, and the storages are all universal and shared, so you don't have to worry about having having to have the right items in the right storage. And then the makeshift hearth serves as an extension of your native or your home hearth here in the middle of town. And as long as you are burning wood or fuel of some kind at it and have a worker at it, workers will stop there to rest and eat and receive clothing instead of coming all the way back home, which saves time and increases your productivity, of course. So let's start the game back up again. And then, of course, we have paths, which are also one of the key things to do. Finally, now that we've moved beyond the tutorials, there's another thing on the map, the screen rather, that we can do right now, and that is this, which is those trade relations. So right here we can see all the tradable items that we have. We can click on each of these cities that we have started, that we had already started, the tutorial cities, and also the smoldering city. And we can see what trade routes are available in those towns and cities. So we can, if we wanted to trade with tutorial 1 town, we could send them 2 planks, or sorry, we could receive 2 planks per minute and trade for these amount of these food items, or 6 routes for this amount of wood. Oh, and the game is proceeding without us in the background, so I better pause it and then go back in. The smoldering city, on the other hand, will sell us spices, or trade us spices for wood, and again, or one of these other items that's unavailable right now. And we can also get stone from them for a trade also. And then finally, tutorial 2 town, we can get mushrooms from them right now for wood, and we can also get flour from them for wood. But I'm not going to start trades just yet. Instead, we need to come in here and track all of these things, and we can actually already deliver this one, which is having a scavenger camp and a stonecutter camp, and it's going to give us 2 parts and a beaver, and get us 1 reputation point. Actually, no, I don't want to turn this in yet, because I want to wait till our reputation goes up before I knock it back down again. But these are also roguelite, or roguelite-like, or roguelike, or whatever. These are all generated randomly. It seems like there might be a set of them that is available for each set of 3. So like these are fairly simple maybe, and then these are a little bit harder, these are a little bit harder yet, and these are the harder, the more involved ones, I should say. Not necessarily harder, but involvement levels. And so these, as they spawn, they spawn in 3s, and they seem to be a little bit more involved in order to accomplish as time goes on. And so these are randomly generated, which is another rogue-ish, maybe, is a okay adjective to use there, aspect of the game. And then finally we get to pick a cornerstone of our town. And so the Queen's Envoy here is giving us the option to have sturdy boots, which gives us 10% movement speed. Moldy grain seeds, which a new type of grain. We gain 5 mushrooms every 10 grain produced. Well, that's interesting. Or we can get +2 to coats production. I think this is the one that I want, just because I know we're going to need the clothing, and coats is the only, or one of the only, clothing options available by year 2. So I want to take this just so we can boost our clothing production a bit when it's time. And unpause again, and I've now been going for 18 minutes and have barely made any progress, but I felt that there was a lot to talk about that I learned through my test games and also talking with the developers. Luke from Eremite Games has been very helpful to me in the in email, and also there's a lot of help on their Discord as well, and finding out these additional tips and tricks have been very helpful for me. But I'm hoping that those they're currently available on the website, by the way. But I'm hoping those would be available eventually as part of a tutorial in the game, because I would like to see them available to teach you as you're playing the game, as opposed to having to go someplace externally to find it. I'd like to build another lumber camp. We don't have any free workers just yet, but we can build another lumber camp to satisfy this here. But I guess we don't need it yet because, well, we can't use it yet anyway. So let's just keep moving that, and maybe I will kick the speed up a little bit, at least for a moment, till we get some more workers. Because right now we're just harvesting and clearing and hoping that we get everything picked out. And generally speaking, I want to expand, but I also want to widen the city here a little bit. or expand in a direction, but also widen the city. And maybe this is the direction to expand in, just because there's a lot of these open clearings here, or glades here. And so they are chopping. And we have plenty of food right now. It's all raw food, but we have plenty, and we are collecting some of these, this moss broccoli. And also there might be some, not what I wanted. No, there's not any. Okay, sometimes there's other bonus items. You can see in those 4 boxes there, those 4 empty boxes. Sometimes there's bonus items for every harvest. Oh, we're done with this, so we have a couple workers available now. Let's go ahead and build that other lumber camp. I think I want to put it here, and we'll expand in this direction as previously stated, whenever we can. Okay, come on. Knock down one more tree so we can open up that glade. We can also build some roads. I've gotten in the habit of building a road across the front of this building. It happens to be 4 tiles wide. Then I build another road across the back of the building. And I leave the space here with the storage. I wish I could move the storage one space closer, but it's fine. You can't move storages. Most buildings you can't move. It's really only these different types of camps that you can move. And I would like to put down that rain collector, even though we're not going to use it just yet. Because we might as well get them to build it while we have people free. Although, speaking of people free, we have now a fertile soil where we can build fields. And we also have the flax field is gathered via scavenger. And finally, we have a small encampment that we can get some vegetables and eggs from, as well as some people. And I think we'll take the people at this point rather than the amber and the Queen's Grace. So let's assign our free workers here. Hopefully we don't have enough eggs. Never mind. Let's not spend it. Let's take that small farm, and we can put that down. It'll be here. I think this spot would be good for it. And we can also place a bunch of fields right around it, just like that. All right, the first drizzle ended, and we've moved into clearance. Unfortunately, they only plant on fields during drizzle and only harvest during clearance, so we're kind of stuck at this point. We're at 1 impatience point, so we could turn in one of these 2 items now. I also want to move you over here and get ready for that later. Hoping we get some people stopping by pretty soon, because it's just about time. I'm going to think it'll wait until we get a little bit over 1 impatience before we proceed with that. And here's the people. I knew they were coming. I think I want to have a beaver and a human versus a human and a lizard. We'll take that, and I'm going to put that beaver in this lumber camp by himself, because at least it'll work. And then I would like to assign the 2 humans we have free here, and then we'll assign the lizard that's free. Oh, nope, we won't either. Needs to build. We need to get him to build. Once we find some eggs, we'll hopefully be able to open up this encampment, but we can't until we have 4 eggs. So until we have 4 eggs, why bother? This flax is going to be useful because it gives us the reeds, or the whatever that stuff's called that I can't remember now. Plant fibers. Makes sense. As well as the chance there for, as you can see, clay and insects. Okay, Stonecutter's camp is free now. I'm going to reassign people over here. And we'll just leave that one to be alone for now. I'm going to go ahead and give them a job to dig this way. I'm going to move, I think, for now. Actually, let's do a little bit more here, trimming that way. I'm going to move these folks over here and let them start working on that forest. We have picked up a few more of these. We can go ahead and track those. And we're at 2 impatience now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn in one of these. But just one. Keep that impatience level manageable. Since we get... not the thing I wanted. Since we eventually get 12 of these, and there are 12 impatience points, you would think you'd want to save them till the end, but it makes me nervous. So as long as we have at least 1, then I'm ready to trade one of them in. Oh, there's another tile there. Must have had a tree on it when I placed these. I don't think there's any more in there, but we could do this just to be safe. And maybe I'll move this single worker lumber mill over here, or lumber camp over here, and come here instead with this one. And let the single one work on just kind of trimming, while the group of them work over here. Speaking of lumber mill, though, do I have? Yeah, I do have 2 workers free. Oh, we picked up another beaver, and yeah, we picked up another beaver. We should do some sheltering, or some shelters. Let's see. I want to do, I think, starting here, a couple of shelters. I'm going to move this out of my way. And then I'll do at least 1 beaver house. And that'll be where to start. Nope, we can't do the beaver house yet, because we need to put down our, where's that at? Crude workstation. There it is. We'll get that built as well. And we have another building we can choose from. Granary can produce packs of crops at 3 stars, pack of provisions at 2 stars, and stew at 1 star. Or the outfitter can produce coats at 1 star, trade goods at 1 star, and valuables at 2 stars. Looking at the items we have in these, crops and provisions would probably be a good one to do. Trade goods is there, and it's only 1 star though. So I think we'll do this one because we need crops here, provisions here and here, and building materials is one of those we can get, not here, but where's it at the makeshift post, along with provisions and crops. But obviously we want to have the better recipes for provisions and crops. So we're going to take this granary, and that also gives us the ability to make stew, which is one of the prepared foods and very useful. Let's go ahead and let them work on that some more. Go back to the food. Okay, we do have enough food now that we could do this. Maybe I should assign at least 1 person out here to let them deliver the food items there. There he goes. And work on that. I'm going to put in another path right here. And that gives us this granary here. That is a 2x2 building. The other one that I want to build very soon is the lumber mill, which is 2x3. So I think I want to put that maybe here. I think I want to put it here. And again, not tucked back like this is, but right up against the road. But I like it being right next to the storage because they'll be constantly coming in here to pull out wood for planks. You have to use 3 wood for planks. On this one, though, it's 7 wood for 2 planks. So this, you can see how much better these recipes get in these better buildings with the more stars. And then we have firewood, which is 6 logs for 6 firewood. It's pretty good. We can also do 2 planks for 6 firewood. Now, if I do the math on this, if 3 wood becomes 2 planks, and that means that if you compare these, 3 wood to 6 wood is 4 planks to 6 firewood. Or if I use this recipe, 3 wood becomes 2 planks becomes 6 firewood. That looks like twice as good to me. Yes, we do have a separate or a second process to handle here, but that looks like twice as good to me. So I'm gonna do that. And for right now, we don't want to make barrels, or I don't want to make barrels. Not that we have any copper to make barrels with, but I want to just take, for right now, make like 10 of these. And I get that to stop at 10. There we go. And we'll do like maybe 20 or 25 of these. Thank you, autosave. And we have stuff to look at. Another cornerstone of our town. We can have the rebellious spirit, which we gain 1 global resolve for each whole and patience point. That's interesting, especially because our resolves are low right now. We can get giant vegetables, which gives us +1 to vegetable production, which includes farming or gathering, and rich in fiber, +1 to plant fiber production, which also is farming or gathering. Fibers can be used for making coats, so that might be useful, although this would also be very useful because resolve is one of those things that's a huge pain in the neck. So I think maybe I'll take this one. Or can be a huge pain in the neck. And then next we get to pick, what do we want? Humans or beavers? We currently have 6 beavers, but I would like actually have more than that. I think we're going to take more of them. And then we need to assign some workers here. I'm going to go ahead and assign a couple of beavers into the lumber mill. They get they get both bonuses, actually, proficiency and resolve. That's good. And let's see, let's move this lumber camp down here. And then we want to set up the crude workstation also. Maybe with a beaver. And I want to put another beaver in this one. And we'll put, I guess, the human in here. And they'll make, we better limit this, maybe 10 rope and 10 clay bricks. And we can change that to be stone bricks if we had stone, which we don't. If we can change this to be plant fibers, leather, or reeds to make the rope out of. And I think plant fibers are the cheapest, so that's the best one to do. And then this is what the small farm can grow: vegetables, grain, and mushrooms. So right now we're growing all three. I think we'll want to ease up on the grain, at least until we can use it. Mushrooms and vegetables are much more useful at this stage of the game. Maybe I should even uncheck grain. I think they've already planted some. I think those are all grain, which is unfortunate. But I didn't think about it till now. All right, we have... Oh wow, another farm field. That's great. So we have that, and we have another small encampment. We did get those workers from that one, so this one, we don't have the eggs again. But we do have some more flax field here, so that'll be good. And I think we just want to widen this a bit, widen the mouth of it a little, and like that-ish. No stone. Oh, there's fields over here too. Holy cow. I'm glad we picked the farm. We've gotten 3 more of these now, and we have 3 impatience points. But now that we have that bonus, I don't want to turn these things in until I need to. Like, we get up to about 8 or 10 maybe out of 12, I'll start turning some of them in. But for right now, I don't want to, because I would rather have higher impatience and get this higher resolve right now. Let's see, maybe we have you two come over here and help. Kind of tight up against this area. It might be useful. And we should be able to now start making the beaver houses. I think we have the building materials for it. 8 planks. We don't have any rope yet. Am I making rope? Oh, you're making rope now. Okay. Let's go ahead and set up a few beaver houses, and we're starting. There's a couple, I guess, for now. We really should get some housing done, definitely before we get to this downpour, which is coming soonish. So maybe I should move this over here and have them work on the housing district. We'll dig our way into that little area there too. So we have 8 beavers now. Do I have one free? No. I have 1 in here, 2 in here. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And we'll want to set up another field, but we don't have time at this point with this drizzle, so I'm not going to bother just now. But I think I want to see how big this field is after they've widened this up a little bit. Yeah, we don't have any eggs. And trees, by the way, do have a chance to drop resin, I think that is the first one. I'll look in a second. And the flax, or the plant fibers, and eggs. So we can get eggs randomly. Resin, yes, I was right. And plant fibers, yes, that was right too. Food's getting a little bit sparse here, but here comes the harvest, so that'll help. But yeah, a lot of it was grain. And as far as I know, we can only use grain for brewing. We can't eat it, so that's unfortunate. Right, you guys need to come over here and finish that one up, and then we'll move it over here. And you can move these buildings as much as you want, so no worries there. There you go. Run away, run away. Yeah, so we found the edge of this one here, and we should probably go and put down the farm fields. We'll have our single free worker to handle that one. Oh, we got more workers off. Do I want workers at this point? Oof. Yeah, we can take these 3. But I don't think I want more than those 3 right now. And I think we should... We can't. We only have 3 eggs. Come on, give me another egg. Actually, I'll assign 1 to this. But I think I'm going to do this option. And that way he can stockpile the food we have. Like that. Can you get the 2 eggs too, or are you going to wait till you can get 4 of them? Then I think they'll go and work. Doing random building stuff, maybe. Maybe not. Oh, he's getting the 2 eggs. Okay, then I'll have to... Once he's delivered those 2 eggs... Oh, there's more eggs. Doggone it. Oh, I think I can do this. Yes, I can. And have him go back and get them again. Kind of a fun little trick. Alright, so they're harvesting. And we have 2 people in here. Good. Can't use the stone cutter just yet. I could put down another scavenger, but it'll be fine with that. We should put down more shelters. Let's see, we have... we need 3 beaver shelters, and then we need to have 3 regular shelters. Or beaver houses, I should say. And then the regular shelters. Should have... tried to encourage them to chop down this tree first. Oh well. We need the shelter more than the beaver house anyway, because the beavers can live in the shelter, but not the opposite. And let's see here. We should eventually put a worker in here, and I happen to remember that beavers get a bonus, but we don't have any extra beavers at this point. Let's see, can I get... Yeah, I think I can. Can I put it over here? Yeah, let's put it over here, and have them inch this way a little bit, and then we'll work our way in. Okay, you all are working well here. We might need to check this side out a little bit more. We'll see in a moment. And there's a small one with danger. The dangers aren't that dangerous, as we saw in tutorial 2. It's just something you have to do quickly. It's not like they're going to get... At least I haven't seen any attacks or anything in my test game. Let's go ahead and put down that, no, granary. Maybe we can put it here. Yeah, I think I want to expand this road like this. Make it like a, I don't know, north-south road, I guess. Don't know which direction it actually is, but that's fine. And then I think we'll do... Yeah, here's the problem with the clothing. You can see they're all having a problem with clothing right now. And then we have these available. Trek. Also. Brotherhood. Brotherhood gotten from. I think that's either the tavern or something along that line. One other building we should build before we end this episode is the trading post. I should have built it earlier, but I didn't. It is 3 deep. I think I'll put it here. And the trading post, a trader will come once a year and offer a handful of items for purchase, I guess. And that's a good thing. Let's actually dig right into that, and we can dig from there into there, I think. And maybe we'll even dig that one up just to see what's in there. Maybe. So fortunately, Storm is the shortest season. And right now, since we don't have any clothing, because we turned down the one place that we got offered that we could make it. Yeah. We'll have to wait. But we'll be able to make it at some point. The pack of crops, we want... I think there's 10 of those, maybe. Is the largest number. Yeah, 10. Pack of provisions was 8 or 6 or 15. Well, we're not going to get to that one anytime soon. I'll just do like 10. 10 of each. And then some stew would be good also. It's a little hard to hit that scroll. you have to make sure that the items you pick here, you actually have. So we have mushrooms, but that's just about it at this point. We can't use insects. We don't really have any meat, and we don't have any other vegetables right now. So we kind of have to use what we have. And before I forget and suffer for it later, I need to find a sweet spot here. I guess that's the only spot. We'll put a farm there, and then we can put one down here also as we fill out these field areas. Carpenter's tools allow additional tools allow for additional yield. Gain 1 pack of building materials for 5 planks produced. Do we have a need for building materials? We do. That would be not a bad idea because we're producing planks like crazy. 30 pieces meat every time a villager dies or leaves. I'm not going to do that one. Or exploring expedition. You took some of the best explorers from the smoldering city with you. -5 to global resolve, +15 to global resolve for for 3 minutes every time a new glade is discovered. So if we expand consistently, then we get more bonus global resolve. If we don't expand consistently, then this hurts us. I think I'm going to take this one and play it safe. As soon as we get these trees chopped and I can see exactly how big this is going to be, we can put down another farm over there, and we can also uncheck grain for this one. I think I'm going to sit and wait on people. I don't think I want any more people at this point. I have probably too many already. We have a bunch of workers that aren't being used. I think I'm going to swap out this beaver and put him in here. Oops. Oh. And then we should set these up as well. Human. If I had another human. Guess we'll just put a lizard in there for right now. Because the humans get that 10% chance to produce. Yeah, right now, yeah, we're low on food. I know. We have 9 bugs left. But we're planting now. Oh, crap. I forgot about this. Pause, please. I need to steal a human. I'll just leave 1 in here then, I guess. And I can put those there. Let's see. Provisions, crops. We don't have the food to produce the food anyway, so I think that'll be okay. And can I see yet? No. Oh, come on. Hurry, hurry, hurry. You know what? Let's do this. Okay, there's a couple there that I had covered up. Fields, please. I would like to see if these two are fields. Although, even if they are, that farm will cover them, and farms are movable, so I shouldn't fret. We should just let them build it. And then we should staff it with those 2 remaining lizards once they have built it. I should build a road out this way. I would like to make it this road, which means we need to widen this out some, which is fine. Can do that. But I also think we should probably wrap this episode up because we're at about almost 45 minutes, and I don't want to go too long. Because, yeah. Where's that grain at? Yeah, see, we have a bunch of grain here that we can't use just yet. It says it's a common food source, but it has to be processed. It has to be ground into flour or cooked into beer. We can't eat it straight up. Or brewed into beer. Okay, we have plenty of logs, so it's just you. Work faster. And it looks like that's about it. Okay, somebody coming with more logs? Yeah, I need to put a road in, but I don't want to put a road in where I have it. Oh, we opened up... Holy cow, look at all the food. Forager, we don't have a forager. And this we need more people for. Let's assign 1 lizard here. 1 lizard here. And 1 human here. And let's get that stuff planted as soon as we can. Hopefully get it all planted before drizzle ends. But we're going to wrap this episode up here. So thank you all for joining me. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.